We've always looked at Johnny as, not growing from a 0 to a 100, but from like a 0 to a 4.
Who is it?
He starts the series in such a hole. He's a man apart. He has regrets about his life. He has resentment about his life. He has unchecked anger toward, strangers and neighbors. He's somebody who, can't hold down a job that doesn't even feel that stable. And doesn't seem to have like the skills to even match. We really just did a number on, what would happen to that guy from high school, who just was filled with the wrong kind of, coaching, and paid the popularity price, and then, paid the life price of, following the wrong teacher. And where's the most tragic / comedic place for him to get spit out, given, what a, perfect foil he was to Daniel in the original movie.
Deaf? Oh, man, what's going on? He's deaf, Johnny.
So, it was important to us to look to the end from the very beginning about what Johnny wants versus what's real, and what feels dramatically good for both, the audience and the character at the conclusion. There are so many paths to go down, and they were all considered. And it is one of those feelings that the three of us kind of looked to each other as we landed on where we eventually went with Johnny for his end game, that, it just felt right.
I'm gonna teach you the style of karate that was taught to me. A method of fighting your pansy ass generation desperately needs.
You wanna finish this?
Bring it on.
A huge theme in the Karate Kid universe is the idea of like redemption and growth. What are important elements for you guys in crafting those storylines as it relates to that theme of redemption and growth?
We're taking something from the original movie, thrusting challenge and conflict into someone's life that forces them to overcome it, usually involving karate. And, we do that with all the characters. With Tori, she's somebody who, in seasons 2 and 3, we set her up as a big bad, as like the mean girl on steroids with nunchucks. And, it was really at the time to, help give, Sam, her own kind of, Karate Kid redemption story. You needed to have that antagonist, and she was like a Terry Silver in her world. But from the very beginning, we would think about, well, why is she doing this? And we always knew that, like, okay, for a girl to start the kind of fights that she does, it's because she's got more on her plate than any kid in the entire school. She's basically a mom to her younger brother and to her mother, who's incredibly sick. And so she's very angry. She's got a lot of negative energy, and she's fierce, competitive, physical, but also very vulnerable and easy to manipulate if you're somebody like Kreese. And yet, we also view Kreese as somebody who's not intentionally manipulating someone to hurt them or just for his own gain. In his mind, he's trying to, make Tori feel better and empower her, rather than, have all that negative energy, like, bring her down. Take it and use it and be a next level champion. And she's got a better shot on Cobra Kai than, she will at Miyagi-Do. So it all kind of makes sense. And yet you just, she's going down a bad path, and, we'll see what, how that resolves.
The champion reveal himself.
Yes, Sensei!
Kreese, by the end of season 5 was, has venom towards everyone, because, Terry Silver, got him locked up. And when he thinks that, in Johnny and Daniel, that he may have a way out, those guys basically, gave him the middle finger and told him no mercy. Now that he's liberated himself, as he would say, I think he has to come to grips with kind of where he is. And by returning to, his sensei, Master Kim, who is more no mercy than anyone and is the purest form of Cobra Kai, and have his sensei kind of remind him of what's important there and redirect him to recommit to no mercy, to recommit to the lessons that he had in the past. He's entering this middle five, ready for anything and not ready to go light on anybody. So we'll see where that path takes him beyond. But he's the darkest Kreese we've seen to this point.
You need to harness all that hate inside you. Are you ready? Yes, Sensei. Cobra Kai is back.
There's so much that develops while you're making the show, and we didn't have all the answers before we pitched the series. And even when we were making season 1, we had no idea that we'd be going in some of the directions that we did. And that's the fun of the creativity of having a TV series. But what I will say is, when we get to the very end of the series, some of the big things that we talked about way back when, it was amazing to finally film them and to have them on screen and to have the resolution on some of the characters that we were looking for. And the season was a blast, and we're so glad that we got to make 15 episodes instead of 10, because we wanted to be able to land the characters in the best possible way and take the audience on the best possible roller coaster.
So wipe the smirks off their ugly faces.